have always been a part of human existence since time immemorial. Wars in the olden ages to the world wars. War. The only difference being, it is not restricted to countries any longer. The need of the hour is to protect our information security, our networks, our data, and our infrastructures. But the vulnerabilities are from every side. Every corner and also across the board. Just like there are many pawns in the game of chess, the real world as well needs cyber soldiers to protect the king, our system. Cybersecurity is today one of the most in-demand fields, growing 3 times faster than many other IT jobs. Every other business around the world is seeking trained professionals who can help protect their organization's data from risks of cyber attack. But there is a significant shortage of qualified candidates to fill these roles, and that is expected to reach 1.8 million open jobs by 2022. Several aspiring students are deprived of their education as they come from economically challenged backgrounds. Lack of awareness on cybersecurity, institutions with high fees, and the assumption that only top technical individuals can do it discourages students to take up these courses. To motivate such students and to create hope in their lives that education is everyone's right, HKCS Foundation, a center for cyber excellence, was founded. To give you a brief background, a boy from the interiors of Tamil Nadu studied in a municipal corporation school and fared very well in his studies. He could not continue his higher education due to his financial background and his inability to speak English. Teachers did not have the faith in him that he would be successful in education. This was the turning point in his life. He took it up as a challenge, learned English and computers, took up petty jobs to fund his education, and completed his education in government colleges, that too with scholarships. Though with all his degrees, he faced a lot of difficulties in procuring jobs as he passed out from a government college. Not let him down. His goal to do well in his life made him strive even harder. He started his career as a faculty in AppTech, did odd jobs like cleaning and servicing computers as a system admin, and then became the IT manager. His experience in various leading IT firms, including social responsibility NGOs like ISKCON, Akshay Patra Foundation, has made him a successful entrepreneur today. This is none other than Dr. Harsha E. Thennarasu, founder of HKCS Foundation and HKIT Security Solutions. When he looked back, he saw he had a great struggle to come to this position, and he felt he needed to give back something to society. HKCS Foundation, with Digital India Movement, Government of India and Government of Karnataka, has taken up the initiative to create opportunities for such students by introducing industrial-level cyber-security education, training, certification, and provide placement advisory and support in reputed firms. A mission to provide free education and create employment to 1,000 students by 2020, and a mission to create cybersecurity awareness for 1 million by the year 2025 with state-of-the-art technologies. Let us all work hand in hand with each other to promote the building of an inclusive society which provides equal opportunities without discrimination for the development of the economically underprivileged. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today.
Good morning. Good morning to all. I am Dr. Arsha Tennarasu. Uh, my sincere apologies that some confusions were there in the playing videos and technical issues. So I would like to take this forward, and I hope that we can do it in a very knowledgeable base. And I would like to have one small uh, a presentation background about my profile. Just a minute. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. So our sincere apologies on the technical issues reported. So anyway, which was unexpected. Now it is clear, and I hope uh, everything is fine. And Gayatri was giving a introduction. Might be some of them are not clear. Let me explain what is the background of uh, this initiative. I started my career in 1992 as a faculty, and throughout my career, I started working on many corporations, industries, many different types of industries as a IT administrator and senior administrator and IT manager, head IT, CAO, CISO. So with this vast experience, so I started doing my research on 2010 on cyber security. I could get 2013 a doctorate on information security on high-end applications and cyber crimes. So with this background, we started this company called HKIT Security Solutions. Now we have almost 600 clients pan India across US and UK. We have a capabilities to get into the very root level, and we were part of many bug bounties where most of the applications were challenged, most of the projects were challenged by the clients, and we have identified all vulnerabilities. One of the example is from Puma World Sportswear. The applications were audited as a challenging project. We could find out many vulnerabilities. Those were hidden for many years, and so we have done the similar projects for most critical infrastructures. That's very important. A critical infrastructure in the sense aviation industries like the Delhi airport, Mumbai airport, and few other airports across globe. We were part of cyber security and IT security auditing team, and I was a lead auditor for all these projects. And we were part of security design for oil and gas. You may be knowing how critical oil and gas and petroleum. So we have done for many projects, many clients on that segment. Apart from that, we have 120 internet service providers in India. So many clients are there from our side. So also I'm playing a advisory role for Government of India, Department of Telecommunication and IT Ministry. And there is a recent development which is supposed to get announced. Karnataka e-governance has nominated my profile as an advisor. Already pilot projects have been successfully completed, and we are looking for announcement very shortly that my profile nominated and assigned as an advisor for e-governance Karnataka, and many other governments we work closely, like Chhattisgarh government, Bihar tourism board, and the Delhi government, Mumbai, Pune. So many government agencies, and even Kerala Coconut Board, Kerala, many projects which we handled. So this is our background, and the purpose of this workshop, or the foundation what we started. Maybe some of them would have listened the video properly, but still I will explain. Being in the industry for this many years, and we have done almost 600 plus projects, we wanted to give back to the society. And when we were when I was going for many colleges and giving a guest lecturing, I could come across with one of the government college. They called for some of the function as a speaker. After my speech, I could observe many of them are in a very critical situation, like they cannot imagine cyber security education. Not only cyber security education, even the our normal education, they are struggling like anything. Most of the people are working for some delivery, food delivery companies, BPOs, and doing some hard blue collar job and delivery, and many places they are working. So I observed and understood that what is the pain for this underprivileged government college students, whether they can imagine cyber security in their life. At least in the middle class families, or at least upper middle class family, only struggling nowadays to get cyber security education, because it starts from the 50,000 rupees and goes up to 5 lakh, 10 lakh. If you could see SANS, SANS certification on cyber security, so minimum $1,900 to $2,000 is a 1.5 lakhs rupees. And when it comes to entry level courses, if you see certified ethical hacker courses start from 49,000 rupees, 59,000 rupees in Bangalore especially. And the middle class and upper middle class is struggling. But imagine below poverty line students who wanted to come to cyber space, cyber security industry, they are not able to imagine that word which I was talking about. And that day, 2013, I remember still that college. After my discussion, I was thinking that we have to do something for this underprivileged students, to bring them to the cyber space, enlighten their life. So this is the motive behind HKCSF, HKCS Foundation is a cyber security, Hare Krishna cyber security foundation. There is no religion to related here. Everybody is there, part of this noble service and noble cause. No barricades. We are beyond religion, we are beyond countries. We have many people supporting from US and UK, and many people from Middle East. And once we started this, we got appreciation from government of India, with a written appreciation from one of the deputy director general level below to secretary. And from Karnataka government, we got a appreciation, and they sent a letter to us, please entertain this project, so that the government college students who cannot afford or who cannot imagine cybersecurity, they will get enlightened by your initiative. I would like to thank Mr. Anirudh, IAS Collegiate of Education, Director College of Educations and Education Ministry. So Karnataka government supported very well, and with their support and additional Deputy Director General, Mr. Sanjay Sahai, last year inaugurated this foundation. After this, we have adopted a government college student where 100 students are there. We started spending time weekly, at least one day from my team. Even I am not available, my team will spend time with them and share the cybersecurity education. One of our Sydney Barreto, he was spending time and training all the people. And we started for almost 4 or 5 months, from last October till March before lockdown. We were successfully bringing all this, and that too they are non-technical. We were finding a lot of challenges to bring them technical and then make them cybersecurity, and we were very successfully getting more response from the team. And it was unfortunate, the lockdown period started in the March, so we could not continue, and we started giving over video conferencing. Poor students, they don't have a smartphones, or they don't have a tab, or they don't have a laptops. And we were trying to approach many corporates and requesting them to help us to give some digital media for them. A training is a costly affair. We are giving free of cost to the government students, and the content is costly in the market. It's more expensive now. We are creating and we are giving to them. The resources are very costly, and then we are spending our time with them. But the infrastructure, when it comes, so our management is struggling to get into that. And then I started looking into why we should not do a training or workshop. What I know, what our team know, we can share our expertise, sell our knowledge, sell our expertise, and whatever we are gaining out of this workshop should be used for the students. These students will get tab. You all people joined this workshop, I will be very, very thankful to you. Your fee, whatever you paid, will give one tab for the government college student. And mainly communication, how they connect. So all these things, with this noble service, you are also one of the part. I'm very, very glad, and I'm very, very thankful to all of you. Please spread the word to all. Ensure that we be part of this service. One student gets education and gets a job, Imagine the entire family will get enlightened. And similar way, their entire life, all of the things will be enlightened and their life will get changed. So with this, I would like to thank once again for all your support and uh, time, because we never expected that festival time we could get at least this much attendance, because I know personally, and many of them are in Christmas holidays, and so festival holidays. Most of them were not able to spend time, but as we committed with many people who are eagerly waiting, and we thought of let's go ahead and do it and record the session and hand over to who are not able to join. They can understand everything and then apply attend online assessment. My dear friends, this introduction what I wanted to give it to you, there is a meaning for that, there is an object for that. We are not looking any financial support from you. At least spread your words and be part of this and contribute your whatever possible. This is a third workshop we are conducting at this point of time. We are very glad that at this point of time, this many participants. I'll be very, very thankful to all of you and um, taking this opportunity to uh, give my gratitude, okay, on this subject. And coming back to what is a cyber security, most of the people are thinking that okay, I do VAPT, vulnerable assessment and penetration testing. See, the cyber security is the vast subject. Here professionals are there in this workshop, students are there, and individuals are there. I'm trying to bring it to your knowledge. Cyber security or IT security or network security is a vast one. You have to be very, very carefully handle this so that your profile will be appreciated by many organizations. I will I will give my personal experience. In 2008, when I was telling that I can do this work, they were telling that you will not be able to do it. They were not giving opportunity to be a part of audit or cyber security projects. Then I was analyzing what is right method to get into this subject, what to do. See, the keen understanding on the subject is very, very important. Talking too many technical things are aside. Now, Mr. Sydney Barreto is going to take an extra excellent session on how websites, web applications can be observed to identify vulnerabilities, known vulnerabilities, unknown vulnerabilities, untraceable vulnerabilities, third party vulnerabilities. There are many types of vulnerabilities. The technical part is different. Please keep it in your mind. What is the understanding on the foundation part? How it should be? When you think in the foundation, when you think in the architect level, more technical aspects can be built on top of that. Most of the people build cyber security career by taking one or two courses here and there, and then the basement become weak. And here most of the a few of them are aware of my profile. When I audit, or when I test, I don't need a application like what our team uses. I can use tool. But the thing is, how the construction, how the application. For example, this workshop talks about website. You know, as an individual, we have got a website. As a company, we have got a website. We are, as a government department has got a website. How these websites are constructed, where it is constructed, what are the best practices, what are the international compliances comes into picture when it is constructed, what are the policies has to be declared. If you understand this base very clearly, you can be a successful cybersecurity analyst, expert, auditor, or tester. I will give one example. If I want to fight with you, what I should do? I don't know about you. I don't know your capabilities. I don't know your weakness. I don't know your strengths. And I come and so straight away sit with you and telling you, yes, I will defeat you, I will fight. This is the wrong strategy. When you wanted to target an opponent, you should know the background of the person. What are their strengths? What are the weaknesses? Where I can touch so that he can fall down. This is the base. This is a foundation. If this is not understood, if this is not clear, what will happen? You do something and you may not be successful defeater. So the clear-cut strategy is very simple. Know your enemy before target. This is a mantra. This is applicable for anything, especially for cyber security and web application, what we are going to conduct today and tomorrow. Okay. Now what to do? Sir, you tell me how to strategize. There are base information which we need to collect. Is this website hosted on-premise server or cloud? These are very important two important points which you will have to keep it in mind. If it is on-premise web server, what are the issues may be there? People are dependent on tools. People are dependent on resources who's doing on the scripts. But before getting to that level, when you understand on-premise hosted, on cloud hosted, which tool will tell you that, I'm sorry, boss, this is hosted locally, this is a problem. The tool can identify what is predefined within the software. within the scanning tool. So first level, when you understand, okay, now let us take on premise. You identified, sir, this website is hosted on office in the server room or data center of the company. Now you tell me the web server hosted on premise, it should have a 350 controls, 350 points. I'll talk in the very non-technical level so that technical and non-technical people can understand. Any web server across globe should fulfill 350 points. How many of us are aware of this? If you know 350 points, and then you will be a successful tester for your web application or website. Now coming back to this point, now I identified this website is hosted on the local data center or in the on-premise or on data center of the company. Do you think that honestly a company can manage all 350 points taken care, or will be taken care, or they would have taken care? Doubt. If they have done, excellent. If they have not done, then that is a weakness. This comes under which compliance? That is called CSA star. What is the CSA? Cloud Security Alliance. This is the one of the international standards. All of you be clear on my talk. If you have any comments, please type on chat. If you're finding this is valuable for you, I'm talking to you for the foundation, basement, okay, for your cyber security approach or industry. If you have anything, please put it on the comment that yes, you like it or you wanted to skip. So when we are talking about CSA, what is the CSA? Cloud Security Alliance, the STAR certification. That clearly talks about, yes, web server, how the web server has to be constructed. On the web server, how the websites can be constructed. What are the security measures has to be built around. So now we are a tester. I observed that this website or web server identified as a on-premise. Now, as a hacker, it is easy to target on-premise web servers. You people should be very clear. The web server holds multiple websites. A web server holds multiple websites. Don't get confused. So if it is on premise, I can list out all the findings. They would have not encrypted, audit trail would have not enabled, and local policy would have not set, and the web server has to pass through the firewall, and web server has to come through the Active Directory. If it is not coming, then it's a problem. And if it is a work group network, then it is a flat network, and there is no virtual LAN on their network. Many findings can be built on top of this and tell that your web server has got these many problems. So being a tester, I identified this as a list of all the things. I can give a very excellent report on this web server. Now another option. I hope we can take by 11, we will take a lunch break. Sorry, break for tea. Okay. So is this fine for all of you? If you have any comments, please. Okay, good. So after finishing this my introduction talk on penetration test or web application security test, I will be handing over to Gayatri and Lydia for the first level of approach, and then Sydney Barreto will come with a technical level. Okay, so this is the flow. I hope you are all fine with that. Okay, and again, coming back to my point, we identified this website is hosted on cloud, right? Oh, AWS, Azure, or private cloud, any other cloud. So now we'll have to know what are the known vulnerabilities of AWS. What are the known vulnerabilities of Azure? How is premise more easier for knowing information about? Okay, so what we can do, Joshua, we will have a Q&A. So you keep your question ready, and then before I conclude, we will take a question time. That time I will explain to you. So when it comes to the cloud, we will have to understand how AWS behaves. Most of the people are thinking, most of the companies always used to tell me, Dr. Arsha, my application, my server is on AWS, I am very safe. I will give thousands of cases on AWS. How? We are companies paying money, and why AWS is not giving that security? They are giving a security features, but people don't enable it. Being a tester, you should know what are the features are already available. Almost 28 security features are available built on AWS approximately. Also, you should know how many of them are by default. How many of them are user or the client has to enable. If you know these 2 points, it is easy to target or easy to identify where they left out. So I hope this is very clear. You should be very clear on finding faults and gaps, and you should be a good guesser. You should guess, might be, yes, this is cloud, this is AWS, this guy would have not enabled inspector or code reviewer, and how they are connecting. There are workspace. People don't use workspace on AWS. You should know about workspace. If you know what that workspace will do on AWS, if the company is not doing workspace, then it is a loophole. That loophole should be identified and targeted by the hackers. So as a tester, you will have to be faster than the hacker. So clear understanding on cloud is very, very important. There are keys. What are the keys makes a role? Like we call it as a password. secret keys. Most of the people don't rotate the keys. What is the rotating? Like how you change the password. As a best practice, if you change it every 60 days is very good. If you change your password 90 days, 90 days, good. If you are not changing password more than 90 days is very bad. Like that, the cloud has got access keys. These keys are not rotated for many years. 400 days, keys are not rotated. 600 days, 1000 days, keys are not rotated. What is the meaning? That means the key which is regularly used can be compromisable. And if you don't use the security mechanisms, those are added feature on top of the AWS, you are still under the vulnerable. Now coming back to the website, which is hosted and given to you for checking vulnerabilities. If it is on premise, you know what I was telling, and you know, if it is on cloud, what is the vulnerability you should identify. So if these two things are very, very clear for us, 40 to 50% of vulnerabilities without touching a tool, you can still do it. And another important point I'm telling you, dear friends, you should have a base knowledge of programming. And I'm not telling you, you can get into every program you have to study. There is always miscommunications. People used to tell, no, Dr. Harsha was telling, I should have a programming knowledge, then they will go for programming. No. The base program, how the methods are used, what type of input fields, what type of the constructions. You may remember some kind of like if else conditions. If this is happened, what will happen? What is the font? What is the library called? What is the modules are in built in, and how it is connecting with the database, and what are the codes are used. Those codes base level you should understand. Methods in the software, you go to Google and search for Python. Let us take a Python, or let us take a PHP, let us take Java, let us take .NET. As a tester, we should know what are the weak codes. When weak codes are used, you don't need to understand the application construction, the website designing, but you should tell your software will give, they are using get method, they are using option method. When you know the get method and option method, which doesn't have an encryption, you should know that, yes, this is not the method that developer should have been used. I hope this is clear. Do you want me to continue for another 10 minutes or 15 minutes like this, or you wanted me to skip for the other subject? You can message. So my suggestion to all of you, okay, tools are like a calculator. Tools are like screwdrivers. Who is going to operate? You should be strong enough on the subject so that you can efficiently understand all the loopholes and make a report and give to the client. So I was talking about coding. I am not telling you to go for create a program, go for a programming training, but you should know when you have platform, PHP, Java, .NET, Python, okay, and Flash, C Sharp, all the things, get into a digital library kind of thing where you collect. See, instead of example, in a company, 1,000 people are there. You are become a security officer in the gate. But if I do 1,000 people or 2,000 people scanning, that is not possible. But as a security guard, I should know who is the culprit in between. That is the methodology, that is a strategy, what I'm telling to all of you. Understand the base, understand the language, understand the plugins. So it is it's very simple concept. When you get into clear understanding of the program, okay, this is going to be a successful approach in terms of addressing web application security. So, and there are many people are not aware if any plugins are added, what I should do. This is comes as components, unknown components, those are vulnerable. How many of us are aware of this? I don't know. So the issue is website. It's communicated in such a way, programming, server, and coding, known components. These are the things that gets into a different dimensions. If you know these things, you target them in such a way, it will be completely fulfilled approach when it comes to cybersecurity. Another major part I'm telling you, I hope people can make a note, and you may also get a recorded session. Apart from whatever I was talking about, very important point, how the data backend database is connected. You should know that also. How the database configured. You have done an excellent job as a developer. The website has been constructed very strongly, and the database connection has got a weakness. And from there, if there is any loophole there, and database can't get compromised, everything will go in vain. So I'm trying to give a complete architect of a website or web application, which will be explained by Sydney Barreto with a technical point, with the tools and other related stuff. So a construction starts from the server and the coding or the programming and the testing methods and the interfaces, APIs, how it is getting connected with the third parties. Imagine a website wanted to validate through Aadhaar. So how it connects? There is a API. This is a pipe which goes out of the website and get connect with the Aadhaar backend. Many of you are aware, I was a lead auditor for Aadhaar in 2014. And Aadhaar has got a 2 servers, AUA server, ASA servers. AUA servers are authentication servers for this kind of third parties. This is published in the internet, and Aadhaar website are having this document. So the website or web application consists of this APIs, the communication with the database, communication with the third party, communication with the other service providers. So these are the important area which we'll have to think. Some of them are doing in the industry that, okay, sir, I done a website audit. I tested with the tool, and they run a tool on this website and give a report that is called VAPT report, vulnerable assessment and penetration testing. But who will do the backend? How many windows are opening? When the website is there, how many windows are getting opened through which the hacker can come in? So better understanding on web application is very, very important for this industry. Some of the professionals are there from IT department. So many people joined. I personally requested your leadership and boss, why can't you tell them to join this so that they can try to do some base level in the in your own network. So I hope that I gave a clarity on the website construction or web application construction, how it is built, what are the loopholes are there. That means API is connected, backend connected, and coding level vulnerabilities. And also, I was talking about third-party plugins. Third-party plugins like jQuery. If you know what is a jQuery does, then the work is easy. And if you know jQuery 1.7 version has got this attack. If you know this website uses this version, that means they are not patched. Example, jQuery version, latest version is 1.9. Let us assume a client uses 1.7. You may ask, sir, what is the difference? What is the problem? They are using 1.7, but latest version is 1.9. Why? Yeah, Mr. Sundar, I will answer for the Aadhaar related platform in the question and answer Q&A. No worry. So we were talking about the versions. Why jQuery should release the version? Is anybody asked? The 1.7 version was targeted by hacker. It has been compromised. So the jQuery release has come for the 9 as a patch. So imagine as a tester, if you know the version difference, why jQuery 7, why not 1.9? If you understand that the release versions given by jQuery, they will say that there was a bug on this particular library file, which was allowing remote code execution. What is the remote code execution? The hacker can execute the script from out of your office or out of your website. They can execute and bring down your website, or replace your content into the hatred website, or changing all the kind of thing, illegal activities they can do. So jQuery has released 1.9 to patch them. Now you understand Why we need 1.9? This comes under the using vulnerable plugins. Components with the known vulnerabilities. This comes under the OS, one of the top 10 standards. So keep that in mind. All this area, if you are carefully looking, this time, if you challenge me, any website you give me, don't give me a laptop. Don't only open a website in front of me. I can tell you without using any software or tool, I can tell you 20 to 25 vulnerabilities. Nowadays, people are submitting report with 25 vulnerabilities. That is different. But we can submit these many vulnerabilities without using any tools. I hope all of you are clear. We were seeing server level, coding level, unknown components, okay, and backend and APIs. Whose are Windows? Those things also is very, very important. It cannot be done in a normal scanning. The APIs cannot be scanned like that. You have to have a different tool or different profile has to be created. So this is my a clear understanding and which I wanted to convey to you. Knowledge is to share. Knowledge should not be hidden. Expertise should not be hidden. Expertise should be shared with others. So I tried my level best to share my expertise, and I can talk for another eight hours, which I don't want. I will hand over to our team. Before concluding, I wanted to ensure that you people are very clear on the subject, and also very important, which I left out, whether they are using SSL certificate or not. Many of people are not aware that in the address bar, not secure will be there. That is a high level finding. If SSL certificate is not hosted, as a hacker, as a ethical hacker, we have more points. It is a cakewalk. I can challenge you. The website, those doesn't consist with the SSL certificate. That means HTTPS. You would have noticed on the address bar. If you see in the address bar, any of the website when you type, if it shows not secure, that means it is cakewalk for hacker to get into the server and upload files, change all the functionalities, or bring that website for 24 hours to 48 hours. So what that SSL does, the SSL certificate creates a secure tunnel between the website, backend web server is there, website and the user. I log in into my browser. I'm a user. I'm communicating with the web server and website. So in between, no man in middle attack. The hacker comes to internet and see that, okay, Arsha is talking to this google.com. Google has got a HTTPS. Okay, good. So they will not be able to intrude. That is this approach called man in middle attack. So imagine, friends, any website which doesn't have a SSL certificate, is it cakewalk or not? Obviously. So this is also another finding. One more finding I will tell you. Some of them have got a invalid SSL certificate. What is the invalid SSL certificate? They generate in their own. That is called self-signed certificates. How the self-signed certificate? Why, you can ask questions, sir? Why not self-signed certificate? Self-signed certificates are also good, but it cannot defend from the latest threats, sophisticated threats. It is as simple as, instead of I go and buy BMW, I build in my own from my car garage. I create in my own tire. I can create my own engine and seat. Imagine what is the outcome when you start doing in your own, creating a car instead of going and buying a BMW. What is the quality between the BMW and your own creation? I think when you create in your own, I think we should, instead of engine, we should get a bull only. So this is a difference. If somebody uses self-signed certificate, that is one of the another finding, another fault. What is another fault? You may ask, okay, tell me. Okay, I identified it's a self-signed certificate. Fine, leave it. What next? I can tell you there is a certificate versions. SSL version 3 has got a hot bleed attack. SSL version 1 has got many man in middle attacks. Who's the successor of the certificates, SSL certificate, is TLS. TLS 1.1. They release 1.1 in the place of SSL version 3. TLS 1.2 came. Why? Are they mad to release another version? Because 1.1 was successfully compromised by hackers. And it's been proved in the Black Hat 2016, I believe. And they demonstrated. You people are telling TLS 1.1 is the successor of the SSL, and I'm able to break. Then 1.2 has come into picture. 1.2 also is compromised. Now we are on 1.3. So most of the people are using 1.3. So dear friends, all of you, I hope I tried my level best to give few important points when it comes to certificates, when it comes to known vulnerabilities, plugin problems, API problems, and database backend problems, coding problems, and server problems. Last but not least, browser problems. How many of you are finding the browser which is used can malfunction? Browser can hijack. Okay, we should know which version of the browser is secure, which version of the browser is not secure. At this point of time, Internet Explorer IE version, those who are using IE, they are more vulnerable. Okay, so with this point, I'm concluding my session. I hope these points are very useful for you. Before getting into tool base and technical base, and I tried my level best to ensure that you have got some foundation when it comes to web application and websites. Now, this is a Q&A time for another 10 minutes. Okay, the question is asked by, first question was asked by, okay, Joshua Philip. He asked, how on-premise more easier for knowing more information about it. Might be he wanted to know that on-premise are how easier to know whether it is on-premise. You can use some tools like Nmap, okay, and you see, when you know about, or when you want to know about your website, okay, there are vapalizers are there, okay, and which will give all the plugins, whatever loaded on top of that. You will be tracing from that's a called experience. You should understand. Okay. And the coding consists of local IPs. Joshua, you have to understand what is the local IP segments and public IP segments. So when you use many of them are like this. If you find any of the local thing, 192 series or 10 dot, and then they hosted on the local. So you have to start analyzing, okay, and resolving the IP address. Okay, one more important point I will tell you. You started pinging the website. You get an IP address. That IP address, if you go and check in the WHOIS, it shows ACT IP address. It shows Tata IP address. When you check, that public IP is given to this company. If this local ISP IP address is being used for this website and other related stuff, you can sense this is on premise. If you start pinging, it is not responding, then that means it is AWS. AWS, you cannot launch, you cannot ping. You have to get a prior permission to do. So this is the way you will have to identify whether it is local. And also the web server shows IAS server, internet IAS server shows version older one, 5 version it shows. Which cloud uses older version? Then you can conclude this version is not used on the cloud. It is usually on premise. Okay. So this is the way you will have to understand. And Sundar Khanna was asking, okay, need a other server platform if possible. Do you want to know? Do you want to access other server? That is illegal. Okay, but I will tell you, Aadhaar has got a main repository which is not allowed to anybody. Another one is another server is the authentication server, which is kept separately. That authentication server is communicating with all the third parties, banks, post office, or the passport office, and all these people are using what that is called AUA server, authentication server. This is only for authentication. APIs, you will get APIs, many APIs. But that ASS server, what you are talking, that's a main repository where all the details are there, which cannot be accessed. Okay, so I hope I answered your question on Aadhaar server, Sundar. Okay, next, Sundar, one more question. Self-signed certificate can able to create anyone? And no, self-signed certificate you can create. Okay, you go to server certificate or server in the control panel. You can create a self-signed. You don't need to create it. It will create in your name. You create your company name, and it will save as a file. Okay, I think that file is a CPL file extension. Okay, so because I very long back I created a self-signed certificate because which is unnecessary for us. Okay, so that CPL file or certificate file will be created that you can use it. But that also as algorithm, that also creates a tunnel, but it cannot defend latest threats. Okay, so I hope I answered. So anyone can create. No cost, nothing. You can create in your own. Unlimited time you can create in your control panel. Go to Google and search for how to create self-signed certificate. You will get a step by steps. Okay. And okay, do they use phishing attack? Joshua, what you are telling, do they use phishing attacks? See, phishing attack is how you fish. Very simple. You just send a mail with you got a lottery, you own a lottery, click on this, then they will hijack. Okay. Also, you can understand in your website any phishing adverts are included, and input validation, very important point. Okay, Gayatri was reminding me the input validations, the field which is used on the website. If the number is there, it should accept only number. It should not accept as a special characters. Then it will lead for SQL injections. Okay. Okay. So need any secure server? Yeah. No need. You if you are using in your own, that is your own thing. Okay. Uh, and you should tell me that how secure that is, because it's your own creation. It will not be more secure when the very same certificate only targeted by hackers, and the smaller one will be just blown. If they blow, and certificate will disappear. So that is where the whether it is secure or not secure. Okay, any more questions? Okay, I hope this session was useful to you. Please type on your chat. Okay, thank you so much. So until unless we are not clear on our objectives and the subject, we cannot be confident. Very simple. That's the reason I was trying my level best. Okay, I'm as you may be aware that I'm always available. You can always keep in touch, send a mail for all your technical queries. We can assist you. Okay, so I will be we'll be taking a break for 15 minutes. Okay, now it's at 11:10. We'll take by 11:15 to 11:30, and have a relaxed time and focus on this. Focus on what people are talking, what other now another session is going to start, what they are going to talk, and you can make a note and throw questions. Okay, how this is, how that is. Okay, and mainly you should have a checklist before getting anything. Please have a checklist. Being a tester, being auditor, okay, we will have to have more questions. How this is, how that is, why not this, like that. Okay, this is our base, and I hope my team will take it very I would like to give a introduction after we come back on the break about Gayatri and Lydia. And then after that, also Mr. Sydney Barreto, I'll give a brief about his background. These people are well experienced. I hope this will be a knowledgeable thing, except that the kickstart was the problem. I hope our coordinator Lydia will correct henceforth. It should not repeat the technical glitch and other thing. So preparedness, well advanced preparedness can avoid that. Okay, so apart from that, I hope that everything should be very smooth and it should be very beneficial for all of you. So best of luck. We have another 2 to 3 minutes to get a break, 11:15 break. If you have any question, please ask me. You can just type chat. The introduction, what we are going to do is participant introduction will be end of the session. Reason, if you know who are all there, okay, it will not be good. So that's the reason what we do is first our introduction, our session, and tomorrow end of the day we will get introduced to all of you. so that you can understand, each other can see, each other can understand who are all, what is the background of you. That will be end of the session. That's the reason the participant introduction is not done in the initial. Okay. Okay. So do not have what is it to this workshop, but on mobile. No problem, Joshua. No issues. Okay, we see all of you are very clear that we are going to share this recorded session. You can always listen, and whenever you wanted, that is not a problem at all. Okay, if you have any challenges, you can tell us. If you have some of them are accessing through mobile, if it is not clear, we can also, or if you want to speak, you can also put in a message that I wanted to talk orally. Okay, we accept that point. Okay, so I hope this is very clear. To sum up, this is the what I was talking is almost 40 to 50% of them are targeted, and balance is the comes with Lydia and Gayatri's session, and most interesting is with the Sydney Barreto has handled almost 100 plus security projects. He will deliver very nice, and so far we have got very good feedback from all the participants that he has done excellent and wonderful job in the last workshops. So let us take a tea break now, and join back by 11:30 exactly. Please don't miss it, don't delay. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you so much for your time with me on this session. Joshua wants to trace mobile. Okay, and once you become a successful pen tester and ethical hacker, then definitely you can do it. But there are some constraints. There are some constraints to track IME number. Okay, but we can discuss in offline. Your feedback will give us a confidence. Please put it on the chat. If the session is going fine, please give your feedback. Yes, fine, we are happy, or you are okay, or you want to realign. Based on that, we can realign. Thank you so much once again. Good. Please message fast so that I can hand over to next session. And one more important thing I wanted to tell you, all of you. Once you part of this workshop, you are a privileged participant. I think a few of them are from first workshop who was part of this. They are VIP participants, and they got a very good price reductions and discounts. Okay, and I'm very glad that you are overall part of this, are treated as privileged participant and HKCS Foundation. The advantage number one, you can be a part of future workshops where you will get a very big discount on the fee. And another one is you will have a opportunity to discuss with our people, call and ask all queries, keep in touch with our team. Technical assistance can be collected from our team, advisors can be collected from us. And another important point, those who are fully qualified and very interested and keen on the subject, they will be treated as our intern or part of our project. And few of them already on our roll, who are in first workshop, and now they are our employees. So benefits are more. I thank once again for your participation, and you should know that what is your value. Always keep in touch with the WhatsApp group what Lydia has been created, and all the information will be shared through the WhatsApp group. So thank you once again for all of you being part of this. I hand over to Lydia, Miss Lydia and Gayatri for the session one. The session one, which I was referring in my earlier session, that until unless you know your enemy, you will not be able to defeat. So these two of them are going to explain you and show you live to know the website or web application, do's and don'ts, best practices, all these things they are going to show it to you. The major part is discussed by me, but in live they will show. So don't miss this opportunity. To brief about Gayatri, Gayatri is our CEO. She handled almost 500, 600 projects along with me. And she is a lead auditor. She is CISA certified. She is a certified ethical hacker. And she is a certified forensic detective. And she is certified forensic security expert. And Lydia holds certified ethical hacker course, certified, and she worked for larger projects, and she has done recently successful project for one of the large corporates. And last 1 year she worked on 15 projects successfully, and she was and she is also technical. She works on top 10 global standards, top 10 thing, and she is also technical tool based expert. She will be handling this, and Gayatri will assist, or Lydia will assist Gayatri. However, both of them are ready to deliver, and keen on this, make a note. And then the lunch break they will be announcing, and then Sydney Barreto will join. And over to Gayatri and Lydia. Thank you so much for all of you. You can always text on the chat box your feedback and what you wanted, some clarifications. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much for the brief introduction, sir. So now I hope all of you have joined now. Now we can start with the reconnaissance. How reconnaissance, sir has spoken briefly about that. And now we will be showing you how it has been doing practically. How you will be in a website, how you will be able to identify flaw without running any tool. Maybe you will be using few scripts, few manual observations, where we will be able to identify how uh, vulnerabilities are identified in your websites, the websites, how it has been designed and all that. So now 1 second, we are sharing the PPT now. Okay, so this is a cybersecurity workshop, and he has Dr. Harsha has explained clearly on how it is designed, and how websites have to be checked and all that. Now we will be going one after the other. Now first, the entire team has to know that there is a disclaimer. See, this is only a training program. It is not a program where you can it, and we are also telling you how you are able to identify vulnerabilities. If you are able to find out how you are able to identify vulnerabilities, that means it is a flaw, and you will be able to get the way to attack also. So here we are making very clear that this disclaimer is only about how we are not crossing our limits for attacking. Make sure that these are not being used as it's only a training program. Whatever we are showing is only for training purpose. Please don't use this, because it's a legal disclaimer which you have to face through. If you're trying this kind of things otherwise, in other sites and all that, because when Sydney will be explaining to you how hackers are getting into websites and getting things, or the tools, how you will be able to run and getting hacked. So you should be very clear that this is only a training program. We are telling all of you, please give your concerns before we start this program. I would like all of you to put it in your chat box that disclaimer has been approved. That after that only we will be able to go for the further slides. Can we see people acknowledging the disclaimer, please? Okay, fine. I could get few disclaimers, agreements. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Here, this is the agenda for today. See, what we are going to do is reconnaissance, which is also on information gathering, understanding about the website, how websites, what are the types of websites, how the websites are being developed, what are the platforms. So this is about understanding the website. Then you have a session management, how sessions are being controlled and all that. We will show you, these are the things which you will be able to see, and your different kinds of forms, and what are the including in the forms in a website, what are the things included. And you have validations, how there are two kinds of validation, client side and server side validations. So how are the things it is getting validated, and from which IP address we are able to identify which is the site which has got the IP, internal IP or external IP. So who is tool will be used for that. And you have tool called Vapalizer, which talks about the information on the platform of the sites. And from there we get vulnerable CV, how to define CV, what is common vulnerability exposure is CV, and how you're able to identify them. And error handlings, what are error handlings, what different kinds of errors are available, and how you are able to handle those errors. So these are, we will be talking in we will be showing you in detail. It is going to be a practical session. And also we will be showing you what is a view page source, how you are able to see, and what is the see, basically information gathering is without any running a harsh tool or a exploitation tool. Without seeing a website, how are you able to identify the vulnerabilities? Okay, next. Okay, so here reconnaissance, information gathering. Here we have what is information gathering. It is the act of gathering different kinds of information against the targeted victim or a system. So now now I am getting a website. Now when we are getting a website, you should know how we are able to for me, website is a victim. Okay, I am able to identify what are the how I'll be able to target it from the hacker point of view. When you are able to identify that capabilities, you'll also be able to identify how to protect them. So we are team of people who want to protect the system rather than attacking the systems. So I am quoting this in you please make it in quotes, that we are protectors. So only if you know how you can attack, then only you'll be able to protect it. Okay, so there is a saying, you need to know to find out how criminals are working, you need to be a criminal. Okay, so these are the things you'll have to understand. So footprinting is a part of reconnaissance. That means we want to know, see, once I'm able to get into a website, I need to footprint is what is the evidences. I need to collect evidences, and we need to prove it to people. Here, this is your website, and these are the flaws identified in your website. Okay, so now we have two kinds of footprinting. One is a passive footprinting and one is active footprinting. So passive footprinting refers to gathering as much information as possible without establishing contact between a pen tester and the target about which you are collecting information. Okay, that is without any tool, without any codings, or without anything. That is a passive footprinting. Now active footprinting is you are using a tools and techniques that makes you get more information on the server platform, on the application platform, and about the website. Okay, so now I will ask Lydia to show you how these things are happening in the website.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So over to me. Now I'm going to show you how the passive information gathering and active information gathering is. I hope all are clear about the information gathering. Please say yes in your comment box. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Yeah, thank you all. Now I'm going to show you a website, okay, on which I'll be giving an example for this two things. Hope everyone can see this website. So I have kind of three websites. I'm just giving an example Okay, so I'll start with the first website. Okay, fine. So, as ma'am had mentioned already, an active and passive website. Okay. So, again, I'll ask you that. Hope everything is clear. Fine. So, passive. So, what we do is we just check without using any tools. Like, for example, as sir had mentioned about SSL certificate and other things. So, I just show you an example so we can go in depth for the next slides. Okay, so so this is how, see, when we click over here, there's no padlock and this site is not secured. It shows that this site is not secured. So what is missing? The SSL certificate is missing over here. Okay, if there is an SSL certificate or something, can you see here? The connection is secured and there's a padlock, right? Okay, so now we are just trying to gather as much as information just like this. Okay, just overviewing it without using any other tools. Like, there is an active information gathering also in which you can use on like nmap and other things. Just this is a part of an nmap organization just in website to just use as a penetration testing website. Okay, so we can use an nmap and other things which will be we'll proceed with the next coming up slides. Okay, hope you people understood about this. So over to you, ma'am.
Now, we wanted to know how you are able to understand a website. What is a website? A website is a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by a common domain name and published on at least one web server. See, you should know how a websites are being developed and what is the difference between a website is a web pages developed on different platforms, and you need to publish that with a domain name and on a web server. Okay, so there are two kinds of websites. One is a static website and one is a dynamic website. Okay, so how a user, see, what is here we have right side, we have given the back here. Here you have what is a static website? A user request goes to the server, and from server it goes to the user, and you have no other relation of any other sites or any DB or anything else. So this is a static. Okay, and it is you cannot have any forms in this, and even if you're having forms, it will be an internal form where it will not be external people will not be able to uh, you know enter there. Whereas in a dynamic website, you have a user, and it is user is connecting to the server, and it is also having a related to the database and the templating engine. And you here how the websites are going to be managed is like you have different peoples connecting to the website. Like you will have a contact us forms, you will have application forms. So there are a lot of forms will be there where you need to fill it up. Once the forms are being filled with different phone number and your name, your address, everything, then when you click on select or complete, then it goes to the server, and you get a message that it is successfully complete. So dynamic is you are talking to the server and server responds, and many people will be able to connect to that. So this is a difference between static and dynamic website. See, I'm going from a very base level. I know for few people it can be very childish how a websites and all that. Okay, but without knowing the basics of this website and web server, web pages, you will not be able to understand the higher level of uh, uh, you know uh, testing. Testing happens if this is the basic knowledge you get it, then testing happens very easily and understanding also will be very clear. Okay, now difference between a domain and a website. What is a domain and what is a site? See here, we have given two things here. Left side is a domain name which is having a secured https colon double slash and a name with .com. Okay, so this is a domain which is registered. First of all, if you want to know, a domain has to be registered, and then application will be developed from on using this domain. It can be sometimes people use the test domain and then complete it, and once the development is complete, then they will put it onto a real server. Okay, so testing happens, whereas a website is a complete, from that domain you're able to see a site, that is a developed completed site. Okay, so this is the difference. Now, as Lydia was showing to you on the SSL secure socket layers, you have this, what is SSL? First of all, when all of us are telling, it's a technical terminology. When all of us are telling what is SSL, secure socket layer, what is it? It is an encryption based, internet based encryption for a security protocol. So what is the other way around? If you're not secure, it is a HTTP. Whereas if it is a secured site, it will be HTTPS. Okay, and it was developed for what is, why it is, why do you need it? For the purpose of ensuring privacy, authentication, and data integrity in internet communications. So if sites are secure, then we also know as a tester that they have a protocol. This is a SSL protocol has been very clearly we can identify that the site is secure. Okay, so they have, and SSL has, as sir mentioned, there are types of SSL, and this is TLS is the latest one, and TLS 1.3 is the latest and ongoing with most of the companies now. So even people who are using SSL certificate, which is a backdated one, so even compromises can happen because of version. We will show you all that on the practical session. Now I'm just explaining the PPT on how things are going to be, what we are going to show. So next will be the different between a HTTP and a HTTPS. Okay, so HTTP, like I've told you, this is not secure. Okay, so here you have an example, Helen. Okay, she is going to a HTTP site. Okay, and she is typing a password like this. So without password encryption, hacker can see ABC123, because the protocol which is being used and the communication which is being used. One second. Okay, I'm so sorry about it. Okay, so we were discussing on how hackers see without encryption. That means the protocol which is used and the channel what we are using is a plain text channel where people can enter very easily. Without SSL, it is very easy for people to get in. That is a man in middle attack, which sir has already explained. This is how it happens. Okay, and HTTPS is a secure domain where there is an encryption. So now, for example, here Carol has HTTPS. She is a HTTPS. Now she's getting into this with this, and because of the encryption, hackers are not able to identify. So it is a difficult task for hackers to enter into any SSL site, that is a secured site, rather than HTTP. So whenever you're trying to check on a website, you should make sure that whether it is a HTTP or a HTTPS. You know what happens? Lydia will show how you're able to identify a HTTP and a HTTPS, and then how you will take a screenshot evidence for proving to people. Okay, so this is all is very important. Now, next we are going to session management. See, I'm only giving you a brief of entire session which is going to happen now, and it's just a highlight of the entire session. So practically when you are going to view it, it is going to be very interesting, and you will also know what are the things we have not touched before, or you don't know, or you need to protect yourself. Okay, so now this is session management. What is session management? We have a session between two people. Okay, and if the session is not closed, so the management of both sessions, if it is not happening, if it is open, then again an attacker can come inside and he can use our sessions. Like for bank sites, if you don't, you're opening a bank site and you're having a session in the bank, like you're doing a transactions, you're doing so many other things. Okay, and then what happens? Immediately you need to come out of the session. That means not closing the session, you have to log out of the sessions. There is a login, log out. Most of the people, they don't know this. They press that into of the entire browser and then they log out. They, in fact, they press that. So the session behind the transaction remains same. Okay, for that, you know what happens? You're allowing the middle person, that the man in middle person, to make sure that he is able to know what is the passwords you've been typed, what is the forms you've been using, and you can also make sure the people can take money also out of that session, or they can threaten you with the session. There are so many things happening with session management. So we say what is session management? Refers to the process of securely handling multiple requests to a web-based application or service from a single user or entity. Okay, so now how is the password? How to do a session management will be shown to you. See, you guys can comment if I'm too fast or too slow on the chat box. Now we have forms. We were telling about how a dynamic site works and what are the forms you will be getting it. Okay, you have a register. This is one kind of a form where you will have your name, first name, last name, email address, password, and when you accept it and register now. So this is a one kind of a form. You get a contact us in your website, that is a form. And when you log in into an application, like when you log in when you type that domain name and you get a login, so that is also a form. So we are showing you different kinds of form, how you need to fill it. Once you click on the register now, the server will give you a comment that thank you for successful registration. That means you whatever forms you're typing and accepting and registering, it is getting into the server and it is replying back. That means the communication between client side and server side is happening. Okay, and here, how are you going to check the validation of the fields? Now, what are fields? These are the first name, the street name, these are the fields. Okay, so every field has to be typed and every field has to be controlled with validation. Okay, what kind of validation you do with this? Like for example, in the left side, you are seeing that we have typed a script there. Street name, I can put a script, and you can type other details also. And when I type a script, when I'm telling, when it is accepting, okay, then the script is allowed. Now, for example, first name. Okay, Tom is the first name, and last name is, for example, they have mentioned Tomcat. Okay, so Tom is the first name, Cat is the last name. Now, in the field of name, if I put numbers, it should not accept. Okay, in street name, it should not accept any special characters. What are special characters? Anything you should know what are special characters: at, hash, dollar symbol, percentage. These are all special characters. I should not, when I type it, server should not accept. This is called form field validation. So when the person is developing a site, he has to know that these are supposed to be controlled. Security, these are the security things which he has to manage. In the date, I should not allow uh, capital letters or alphabets. In salary, I should not allow special characters or alphabets. So each and every column or a form field which you're filling should make sure that everything has its own validation. Okay, so now you have a form which has a problem and a form which is very new, like how this. See, once you click on a form, what is the uh, error it is showing? This value contains only alphabetical symbol, underscore and number. So it's very clear that the form has been having field restrictions. Okay, so this is what is about field restrictions. Next is how a client-side input validation, registration form and contact us forms. Okay, now we have client-side. Now we are a client. Okay, now I have a validation and you are a visible user. Okay, so client-side validation is, now first name, this field is required, mandatory, and you have to enter it. And email ID, password, these are the fields which is given mandatory. Okay, and there are certain unmandatory fields also available for you to check and enter. And if the same thing happens in your registration and contact us form, from us we are typing everything properly, and when the server is not accepting, it should show the error. Okay, so it involves validation on put forms through Java. See, it can be any script. Okay, see, the site can be developed through different platforms. Okay, we will show you different platforms, how the site will be like, you can use a PHP platform or JavaScript or other things. Okay, so we will show you live how it happens. Okay, so now here it's a login page. So login attempts more than 5 times leads to password attacks. So what happens? You have to restrict your login. Now I'm able to type login for more than 5 times. That means it is not restricted. So what is there is an attack called it is called a brute force attack. Okay, so invalid login credential attempt remaining for, that means it says that you have done a wrong password. Username, wrong password. If you should also test it to know if this attack is possible or not. This is also an information for you to make evidence out of it. Okay, so now in login forms, if you're typing more than 5 times password, so it is insecure, the site is insecure, and brute force attack is possible. Here, insecure password reset allows an attacker to reset another user password in order to bypass authentication and gain access to user accounts. So this is also one of the criteria we need to check and make sure that that is the attacker will not reset the password and get into the site. Next. Now here we are talking of, when we are talking on password, the attack on password. Now we will also talk how attacks are possible and how attackers are able to check if the password complicity policies are being built in or not. Like, we have two things here. Again, left side we have a weak password, example admin at 123. You will keep your name, your dog's name, or your friend's name who's very like ABC, very simple passwords. And sometimes it can be generic password where password admin, which people can already they can know. So what happens, sometimes default passwords, that's what they are called as, default passwords. Your name, which what are default passwords, where we can guessable passwords. You can guess, I can guess, okay, if I'm talking to for example Joshua, okay, I will tell Joshua at 123, can Joshua's password be that? Okay, Joshua, are you keeping the same password what I'm saying? Hello, is Joshua there? Okay, no issues. But whatever we are discussing is on the default password where people can guess it. Okay, it will be definitely a date of birth, or your pin numbers also are guessable. Okay, so uh, these are the name of the passwords. Now what is the complexity? Now you have a default password and you have a strong password, so you should know what is the difference between a strong password. Okay, so minimum 8 to 16 characters of a password should be used. What are they? It can be a capital letter, a little bit of a lowercase, a number, and a symbol, special characters. Okay, so for you to have a complexity of a password, you need to mix up everything. Nowadays, even these are being compromisable for the attackers. There is a dictionary attack where they send this, just it's a tool which can identify all these characters and all that. It's difficult, but it is possible. Okay, so this is the complexity of passwords, and we just suggest that you should use a sentence as a password. Okay, because a security expert, we will definitely think that these are compromisable, like my name is so and so. Sometimes these sentences also people will not be able to recognize. Okay, so this is about the complexity of password policy. And most of the companies and website developers, all these people have to use these kind of things to make their website strong and to make difficult for the attackers to guess and get in. Okay, now okay, so there is a captcha. What is captcha? Captcha is a type of challenge response test used in computing to determine whether or not the user is human. We want to know whoever is dynamic page is there, but then when I'm talking to you, you have to respond. So that is why they use a captcha. Okay, they want to know if you are able to identify whether you're a robot or not. So they give you a lot of different kinds of captchas for you to admit. And what is a strong captcha, what is a weak captcha. So here I am not a robot. Strong captcha is an example, we are given an example, whereas weak captcha is here like 9927. And sometimes what happens when the developer are designing the site. Okay, captcha numbers, it remains the same, so it is a guessable captcha. It's a weak captcha. Okay, so this 9927, first time when you type it, when you're telling submit, it submits. Another time also you will get the same thing. So the purpose of captcha is not proper. So you have to have a strong captcha where it has to keep changing every time. And multi-factor authentications, like when you this is kind of an authentication for you to enter into the website. Okay, so that the server also knows that this is the person who's come in. Okay, so now this is captcha. Now we will show you all this in the website. Now when I'm talking, I was talking on session management. Now it's a session timeout. Now the session when you're working on a site or a application, you should know there is a session timeout. Okay, and that has to respond to it. Suppose you're working on it, and when when you log off or without logging, it has to time out your session. That's a very good site which logs out. And there are so many sessions which are not timed out. That is, your session is about to expire, you will be logged in. So second is a very good session timeout uh, protocol which is used for the websites. And this we need to check whether the session timeout is happening or not, and how long have they kept the session timeout. And you need to take a screenshot to put it as an evidence that yes, this site has a session timeout and this much time it is allowing. Okay, next is a concurrent session. Concurrent session, log in multiple times with the same account on multiple device or the browser. Okay, so now the same session, like you're opening different browsers and you're having a concurrent session with the login. So when you're logging in multiple times, the session concurrent sessions are open. So maximum 1 login sessions are allowed at a time. Please contact your site administrator for more details. This is a very good control on the concurrent sessions. So you cannot log in. That means I am able to log in from Firefox. I'm able to log in from Chrome. I'm able to log in from IE. So like that, if I'm able to log in the same session and if it is opening, and if I'm not getting any controls, so I can use 3 sessions and use 3 different things to, or I can also do a spamming. I can just keep giving lot of data onto the website and I can crash the website. Maximum what I can do is I can do that for the site to come down. So see, I am talking from a again, not from attack point of view, how you're going to identify a concurrent session. So once you're doing information gathering about a site, make sure you're putting that domain and checking in every browser, and then making sure that concurrent sessions are not happening. Okay, next. Okay, this is domain name information. Now you want to know what is this. Now I am giving you a site. Okay, you want to check how you want to know the domain's name. So you use this tool called Whoislookup. Is a way for you to search the public database for information about a specific domain, such as the expiration date, concurrent register, registrant information, and etc. So these are the things you will be able to check. Now all this what I'm discussing, you will be able to see practically now. We'll go for every tool and we'll make sure that we'll be showing you how you can test them. Next is a Vapalizer tool. It's an open source platform. What is this? Is what this tool does. It collects data from variety of extension and anomalies. Okay, and the data that gets collected helps user gain insight into the pattern found within the source code of a variety of websites. So basically, see, our kind of testers, first thing we will be using, these kind of information gathering tool to identify. Oh, sorry. See, example is given here. Okay, what extensions are being using, and see, it's like, for example, Google Analytics. A website has been using HTTP, miscellaneous programming language, Node.js, all these things. You'll also get what platform they use, jQuery, what version they are using, all these things. Next comes is the difference between what is CVE and CWE. Okay, CV is a common vulnerability and exposure. It specifies instance of vulnerability within the product or a system. Okay, so here you have a cvedetails.com is a site where you can find out the vulnerabilities, and it is already whatever versions you're using, what is the website version they're using. For example, jQuery 1.4.4, you can go type it in that CVE details and identify. Right side you will get a box. Right side you will get a box. See, this whatever you're seeing there, you're able to identify what is the risk in that version. So you can get into that and take a evidence for that, to make sure that what you're saying is right, what you're checking and finding fault are right. Now, common weakness exposure. This is refers to the type of software weaknesses rather than specific instances of vulnerabilities within the product or the system. So the weaknesses of the, like for example, stack based buffer overflow. So that now this is a weakness which we identified. So we are going to get what is the number for that, buffer overflow. And you're going to prove that this identification by a tool or manually what we checked, we are going to check with common weakness, get the coding, and then we are going to give it as a evidence again. So this is file upload. It's an unrestricted file upload. So file upload functions are favorite targets for hackers. They require site to take a large chunk of data. Okay, see, I will tell you. Here what happens, when we get a site, we'll be so excited to see what are the things we can try to attack them. First of all, we will make sure that are we getting any forms, any contact us, or any fields, so that I will be able to find out how many vulnerabilities are able to we can identify. Now file upload is one of the reasons where when you open there is a form of upload, then what hackers do, they try to upload more and more files, like spam files, where the server can come down. That is large chunk of data. So for testing, we want to know if they have restricted the file upload. There are restrictions when I'm uploading a file. It has to be, if it is a zip file or a png file or an xml file or a php file, they have to restrict. Now there is a function for example, we have worked for a client, okay, railways. There we have already seen there is a file upload, okay, but if there is a restriction there, I cannot upload xml files there, it does not allow. So when I'm trying to upload a picture file or a gf file, it is not allowing. It only allows an xls or it allows only xls file or a word file to be uploaded. Okay, so file upload should be treated very consciously. They represent an easy way for an attacker to inject malicious code into an application. Okay, so this has to be restricted. So here we can make sure that the sites are safe if they have a restrictions permissions given. Okay, so next, here whatever we have spoken before, what happens, uploading a huge file with with space of dos attack. So dos attack is possible when I am uploading an html file containing scripts. Victim experience cross-site scripting. That is a script. If when I am putting a script, that a html file with a script, then cross-site scripting attack is possible. Then when I'm uploading files using malicious path or name, okay, overwrite of a critical file will happen. And uploading a JPG and a double extension file containing a flash object, victims experience cross-site content hijacking. So only on a file upload, so many attacks are possible. So if the site is restricted, it is good. If it is not restricted, then you will have these kind of attacks possibilities are there. So next we come to error handling. What is error handling? It refers to the routine in a program that responds to abnormal input or conditions. Now when I'm typing, like as we discussed earlier, client side, server side. Now a client, I am a client, I am entering a form, I am pressing a submit button, then I'm getting a 404 error. When I'm getting a 404 error, one way it is good. Sometimes we should check which error is good, which error is where we are able to identify more details. For example, if you see the forbidden down, yeah, I am able to see the Apache version, and what port is open. So this is also a this one information for me. And you have an error 500 internal server. See, these are the different kinds of error, and how an application can handle this error. If I'm loading with lot of data, I see what error it can, or I'm running a tool on this application, and I'm making sure if the application is restricted with all these things, or if it is able to giving me this kind of response. Okay, request response. I'm requesting, that means from the client side, and I'm getting response from the server side. Okay, so these are the different kinds of errors. I would like to see the chat if anybody's. Just want to know if I'm going too fast. That is why I want to check the chat box. Okay, anyway, nobody has commented. Thanks. Okay, okay. We'll go to the next. So it is same. Error handling, we have different kinds of error from the application. See, you have a server error, that is internal server error. This is one part of it. This is a SQL server error. Sometimes when we are doing an SQL injection, when we are trying to check on SQL injections, we try to check if these errors, when I'm trying to put a payload, I'm trying to see if I'm getting this kind of error. Sometimes error is, if I'm getting it, that means injection is possible. Okay, and you have a database error, where error establishing on database connection. See, these are the evidence. When I'm typing something, I need to know that errors are being handled or not. Forbidden error. Okay, so we have discussed on different kinds of error. So we will go to directory listing. So now, as we have gone through so many parameters on information gathering. So what are the things you have seen? You will get a checklist at end of this session, where whenever you're doing a website, whenever you're seeing a website or checking a website, you make sure these parameters are being checked without running any tool. See, we have not run any tool. We will Lydia will show you how these things can be practically done. But before that, if you know what is all these things, then it will be easy for you to understand practically. Now next is directory listing. What is a directory listing? See here, it is a listing, a web server function that displays the directory content when there is no index file in a specific website directory. Okay, so this is a listing. Now when I type robots.txt, okay, so when I type robot.txt is a parameter, and then 1 second. As in when you're going onto the domain, here this is a domain, and when we are trying to type any other details to check, and if you're getting a directory listing like this, each parent directory, you have different parameters to go check. Actually, a proper website should not show directory listing. It should be not allowed. It should be disallowed. Okay, when it is allowed, that means I'm able to see the parent directory, through which I will be able to get into the shell level, and I can change the codes also and get into the system very easily. So these are the things. See here, for example, this is WP is a WordPress config.php. Okay, I can get into the WordPress.config and I can change the configuration file. Okay, so it is not that easy. As I say, you need to have the skill set to get into it and do all those things, but it is dangerous to leave this function turned on for the web server, because it leads to information disclosure, security, information disclosure. So this is a very important directory listing is also important information for us to get into the system. Next. Now view page source. Now view page source, see it, you look at the HTML or XML source for the pages you are wishing. Now what happens when there is a website, if you right click, you will get a view page source. Through that, we will be able to identify many things like HTTP links, code of backend environment, and sensitive data. So what is our job as an information reconnaissance person? What do I want? I want to check where are the vulnerabilities I can identify. How I will identify? What are the tools I will use to identify? How I will take evidence to show that this website is good or bad? Or how I will be able to make sure that it is very easy for people to say, okay, now these are the flaw, and these are the things we can help the people to patch it. Okay, so this is one of the view page source. And thank you. This is the last session for in the sense in my PPT. I hope it was very understandable. Now, whatever is theoretically I have explained, okay. I will answer these questions, whatever you people are showing in the chat box in the end of the session. Okay, so first of all, you need to know how you can do this. Okay, so please, please comment on my presentation if it is very clear, or do you want me to improve, or how you want after the session, after the practical session, we can take it over. And over to Lydia for the practical session. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good afternoon, everyone. So now I'll take the practical session on information gathering. Hope I'm clear. Am I audible? If I'm too fast or too slow, please drop a comment, okay, on the chat box. I hope my voice is audible. Okay, thank you, everyone. So myself, I'm Lydia. Okay, so I'll just start with the practical section, whatever the information gathering was covered right now. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen. I'll show you from what is passive and active, you know, website. Then I'll go on with everything from the file upload and all type of complete information gathering, and how do you take the screenshots, and what are the necessary things on information gathering. As you all know, like ma'am have already explained to you, even Dr. Asha sir had explained you in detail and in depth. So let me show you practical. See, I'm just using a kind of websites which are, used for the penetration testing purpose. Okay, I'm not using a very any random websites or something like that. These websites are meant to do the penetration testing, and for the people who wanted to practice on a websites. So you have this platform. See, you have an open system platforms where you can practice on these things. Okay, whatever you things are you people are learning and all. Fine. So let me start with this. First of all, the basic thing, what is passive and active, you people already know. Okay, kind of information gathering. Before I go into the depth and start with the practical, information gathering is something that you gather as much as information as possible. See, when you look onto the website or something, you will be having a website. Okay, you just look onto that, you find something. You When I see this website, I don't know others, what how about others, but when I look into the website, I could see that this site is not secure, as I mentioned at the first session thing. Okay, I can see that this site is not secured. Okay, I can just click over here and see over here your connection is not secured. So as I ma'am had explained about the SSL, okay, certificate and TLS and all. Okay, so it's mandatory for a website to have an SSL certificate, or else the attack, like man in the middle attack, is possible. Okay, so if you try to for example, like you have this the site is not secure, then the encryption part, whatever the data, if the site is having a forms or kind of other kind of forms, like you can share the details of yourself, like about your company, about your bank details or bank numbers or etc. If the site is having such things, then when the website is not secured, then whatever data from the client, it goes to server. No, while that process, there's no encryption, it won't no, things won't be getting encrypted, it's on the plain text. So this is very important. Okay, SSL certificate, it comes in the critical thing, so we take this. Okay, so what I do is, see, I found this site is not secure, so what I do, I take a screenshot of only this part. Okay, with the URL showing that this is an evidence. Okay, hope I'm clear. So what I do is, I use a snipping tool in which all the Windows system will be having. Okay, I take a new snip. Fine. Okay. Then what I do over here is, I take a print screen or a snipping tool to take this kind of screenshot. Okay, so you can take any of that. See, sometimes when you use a snipping tool, now when you click on the thing, it will just disappears. So what you do, you can take a print screen and then focus on the particular part and then take the screenshot as an evidence. Okay, fine. Hope this is clear. Anyone is having any doubts on this? About the capture things and all, I'll go ahead and explain it to you. And about the 402 error things and all, I'll go ahead because I noticed on the comment section. So we'll go ahead and explain those things. Okay, fine. Next is, see, I'll just try observing this complete website and all. What is it? What are the things are there? Kind of, how is this website and all? Okay. So what happens is, this website, only this page is for the informational purpose. Okay, then it gets to redirect to the explaining about the tool. So I have another website over here also. Over here, the site is connection is secure. Okay, so this site is secure, so this is also a part of information gathering. And when using the tools and all, you can find which version or which kind of TLS version it's using. Okay, for more details on this website or on the certificate, you can go to the certificate. Okay, you'll get all the details, when valid from. Okay, this says it's valid from 10/12, and it's valid up to 10/12/2012 21. Okay, so it's valid up to 1 year. Then if you want to get some more details about this, what is the version and other details and all, you can look into this certificate part. Okay, so you can view this completely. Fine, hope this is clear. And to even more depth on this, the certificate thing, you can also go to the inspect. Okay, I'm not overloading you people, I'm just giving an information. Okay, there's a portion called security over here. See, over here it gives another informations about this. So this is also an information what we gain. So this says that TLS 1.3. Okay, this site is having TLS 1.3. As ma'am and sir had mentioned, TLS 1.3 is the latest version and it is more secure. Okay, so you just have to verify this finding with the tools. Okay, just you have to completely verify this. Whatever findings you get on information gathering, we also verify with the tools. Okay, fine. Now I just type robots.txt. Okay, so it shows like no the user agent it's disallows the WP admin. Okay, so now it is giving the clear information that it's a WP website. Okay, WordPress website. Fine, and it is having it. It allows the admin page. Okay, so you can go to this URL and access on it. So I'll just show you that one. Before going to that, I'll just explain what is robots.txt. The robots exclusion standard is also known as robots exclusion protocol. Okay, it's a standard used by the website to communicate with web crawlers and other web robots. The standard specifies how to inform the web robot about which areas of the website should not be processed or scanned. So it's a robots.txt. It sets the standards about what website to be crawled or scanned. Okay, so it just shows which to be allowed or which to be disallowed. And it clearly mentions over here it disallows the WP-admin. So let's try this and let's see whether it disallows or not. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just copying this URL. Okay, I'm opening on this tab. Fine. Then I try copying this part. Fine. Make sure there's no double slash, only one single slash, just to check the parameter. Okay. Wow. We are having the admin page over here. Okay, so there's an admin page, and well, there's no captcha over here. So what it's possible, I think almost all the password attacks is possible over here. You can try logging in, like you can try admin dot at php or anything else, like admin dot of this website thing, or you can find the emails in this website like view source page. Okay, if you go over there, if you can check the mails also, if the person, if the developer had revealed kind of mails and all to the clients. If you go over there, if you check the mails like mail IDs or something, you can try all of those. All the possible attacks is possible. What does the robots do? Actually, it just checks and it minimizes the attacks over here. You can just when there is no capture or something like that. Okay, then what will happen, you can just try any number of times. You can just keep on trying. So let me show it, just chumma typing over here. I don't know what is the login thing, or I don't know anything. So I'm just trying. So something is wrong. It is not recognizing, and I just type something, but it's not recognizing. It's a mail ID. You know, this is also a part of thing. This is also a part of information. So whenever you get these things, it clearly mentions, username, okay, or email ID. So it's not recognizing whatever it is. I can type any number, how lengthier it can go. I can type with the special characters. I think you can see this. All kinds of special characters I can type. So I can try injection, broken authentication. Like I can break into it. I can try injection scripting and all. I hope these things and all will be explained in the further sessions. Even in the password, it doesn't have anything like it is not like valid. Or there's no client side validation. It's not validating me. It's not showing anything. There's no password policy also. See, like if I type only three things and try to log in and it shows the same thing, something is wrong, then what's the point? So there should be a proper error management as well as there should be a captcha, because whenever you try, all the password possible attacks are there when there is no captcha. Even the captcha can be weak as well as strong. That will be discussed on a further session, because now we are doing all the manual testing and now we are trying to cover only the information gathering, like as much as gathering of information from our end without using any kind of scripts or any kind of tool. So you can see this. Even sir had mentioned you can submit a report without using any tool, with just gathering the information with while testing by yourself like this. So sir had clearly showed that he also clearly mentioned that he could submit some 25 to 30 findings without using any tool. So this is a proof. Okay, hope you people have understood this one. Am I too fast or something? Are you people understanding? Okay, you can just comment on the chat box. Just I want to make sure whether everyone are understanding it or not. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so I'll respond to your queries, in the upcoming things. Let me finish, complete the other things and all. Okay. So if you have any doubts or something, uh, you know, you can, directly shoot your questions onto the comment box and we'll be ready to answer to your queries. Okay. Fine. So now we understood about this login thing, right? And now we understood about the robot also. So again, we'll go to the robot.txt. See, when we went to the robot.txt, we could find two URLs, and we could find an admin login page, okay, of an admin that to Vaporizer, the thing. You can log in as an admin and you can do anything. You can completely when you have an access of an admin, just imagine how many data and database can you people can get through it, and you can break through it. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Then lost your okay, see, oh, there is a log, forgot password, and there's no capture for this. I think there's an email address. It says that username or the email address. So let me try. I just try this one. Please enter your username or email address. You will receive an email message with instructions on how to reset your password. Okay, fine. So there is a multi-factor authentication. Like, it gives an, if there is a nail change or something like that, if I want to change the password, so it asks me to, check my mail ID. Then, okay, so even it says that if you try, what about if you try something other emails or something like that, whether we will get or something, get the information about those things or not. Okay. Uh, just go, I just don't want to drill on this too much. I hope you people have got at least a glimpse about it, at least a fair idea about this. Okay. So what I'll do next, it says that it allows the admin page. Okay, let me try this. So I go to the same thing. Okay, so I just enter in this. And it shows zero here. Okay, so there's no access given. Fine, that's good. Okay, so we are not getting access to it. Fine. So then that is also information. We just put this as an information that when we try to use that URL or something like that, whatever the robot.txt is given, then when you try it and you're getting zero thing, okay, we can just drill on it. Because why I'm digging onto the information gathering so much is just because whenever the information gathering is done, before it goes to the tool testing, the person who's doing the tool testing now, they would at least get a spare idea about how this website, how it is working, what are the possible ways I can get through this, at least almost like in 100%, the person, he or she, will get some 80% of knowledge on how this website works. Okay, complete detail. Fine. See, I'm not just going to the particular website and getting the information for just random thing. I'm just trying on to the different websites, for you people to understand the thing. Okay, if you want, I'll get show you to the same website in which how much of information I gathering I can do for the individual website. But still, other websites also having the different problem. The main purpose of this is like make a note that every URL, whichever URL it's given to you, whitelisted and given to you for testing, that URL, every URL will be having different problems. Every problem won't be the same. You'll get different information in different URLs. Okay, let me try in this. See here. So as ma'am had showed you, like error, you know, like improper error handling. This is an improper error. So what is the information you're getting right now? If when you see into it, there's no robots.txt, but still not found, and you get the server information Apache 2.4.7, right? And this is, you know, very good information. With that Apache, they're knowing the server, you can, you know, just go on to it and you can try all the ways, you know. So using that version, we'll go on to CVE and CWE. Okay, with that CVE, we'll just particularly specify. CVE is something like it just particularly specifies this version is having these kind of, you know, the top level vulnerability things like injection, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, and bypass, and other, you know, other big breakthroughs and all those things. So we can go on to that, you know. See, this is also an information, so I'll take the screenshot of this and you can, you know, paste it, or you can keep it in the folder saying that this URL consists of this information when we type the robots.txt. That's saying that there is no proper error control. Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next thing. I hope, you know, robots.txt it's clear to you people. Okay, so let me take this website. Okay, there's a cookie policy. This one also you can mention. So I'll just go on to the cookie policy later. So I'll just go through this website. Okay. So you have so many details. You know, you can go through every URL. You just have to check each and every URL up to the bottom level. What are the informations you can get? You know, complete over here. You having the search fields. You know, the search fields. You can, you know, take that information. Fine. And company news about us. So whenever you do the information gathering, I want you people to know you just have to go through it completely from top to bottom. Okay, completely each and every link you have to go through. You know, you have to know which website consists of what. So it says contact us. Let me click on it. Wow, we found a form. Fine. Now let's check over here whether there is a validation or not. You know, there's no client side validation. See, in this things, no, before it reaches to the server, it should say, stop, you're not going to the server. There is no proper name. You're not given the right name. There should be only A to Z characters. There should not be any special characters or numbers over there. Okay? It should say that. But there's no validation. You know, before it reaches to the server, it should say, just stop. There is no proper, you're not specified your name properly. So that is missing over here. So client side validation is missing. If this is there, you people know what are the possible ways of things you can get. You can you know, put malicious script on this. You can just try whatever things you can get, you know, access this. You know, when you scribe, when you put on the scripts and all, you can get, you know, malicious scripts and all. You can try to get, you know, as much as information from the website. Okay, it's like almost taking over the website with using all the scripts and all these things. Okay, so about the scripts and other tools, when you can, you know, when you can manually find so many information on this, you can almost find more than, you know, 50 things when you use the tools. Okay, you have to just cross verify that. Okay, so when you try over here, okay, this field is required. Okay, it says that this field is required, but there's no proper validation. If they could mention that this field is required, they could also mention the, you know, validation of this thing. So it should, you know, validate these things. Okay. Okay, see, I showed you an example like validation, right? See, it specifies over here like how the validate should be there, you know, how to enter the mail ID. So the same thing should also mention in those two fields. Okay, that is missing. You can you know, improper client side validation also you can mention with these things. Okay, fine. Hope you people understood this one. Now what I'm going to do is like manually you can just go through all the links and check all the things over here, like what each page is having. Is there, apart from contact form, is there any other form, you know? There's so many, and this site is really huge. You can just go through all the things. Okay. So actually we have to cover a lot of things, right? So what I'll do, I'll go to the vaporizer things, okay, like OS and all those things. When you look into the site, you got so many information. Okay. Now I'll show you what is OS domain. Okay. Okay. You can search using this also. You can just put the URL of any URL and go here, enter, and search. See, you'll get almost every information, what is the domain name and register date and who is the server, and register URL and updated on, almost all the informations, name of the server. Okay. All of these you'll get it on OS. It is like publicly available, but still we have to make sure whether versions and the server details won't be disclosed on this. Okay. Okay, there's so many US, so you can just type on the different things or domain name or IP address to just get the details of the each and every individual of that, whichever the publicly it's available. Okay. Oh, it's still loading on this. Okay, it'll take time, so we don't have much time. We'll just go on to the next things. Fine. Hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. In this thing, okay, the site is asking I'm not. Okay. Go. Fine. Can you notice these things? So it's showing the registrant. Like we tried on the worst thing, the first thing, right? In that you could get some, limited information. In this, you could get most of the informations over here. You could get the registrant, address also, including the phone number. No, lots of things. I could see you. You can see here, right? Completely the name of the server, and you can see over here the publicly accessed IP address, and it says that site hosted on this server. There are 12 other sites hosted on this server. Then it's a shared server. Okay, it's not dedicated. Dedicated in a sense, it is dedicated one IP. It is dedicated to one website. Okay, it's not covering any other website or any other URLs. But over here, other 12 other sites are hosted, so it is dedicated. Like it's shared. Dedicated is a single thing. Like shared is almost like more than two or three. Fine. Then you can get through this all of this information. The most particular thing is on information gathering or any other phases, you have to take the screenshot. Plays a very important thing. Once you find this evidence, you will not you'll not be able to get access to another, again the website, or again take the screenshot. Once you do it and get the screenshot and get it done there itself. So whenever you take the screenshot, we I would recommend you people to take with this URL and specify that who is record for this particular URL. Okay. Whenever you try to take every screenshot, it should be particularly mentioning about the URL, completely. Sometimes they could say that it's a false thing, but still they should specify URL. So whichever website is there, you have to specify those things. Okay. Hope you understood on the OS domain, as shown on the PPT. This is how we find details. Okay. We take individual screenshots like this. Okay, fine. So hope there's no any other query on this. I hope people, everyone are there. Like, did somebody just, you can just tell, yes, we are all are there or something like that. Just mention that everyone are present here because I just want to know. Okay, great, fine. I hope I'm not making you people feel bored just doing this information gathering because tools are yet to come. Okay, fine. So next we'll go on to the next thing. Okay, so next we'll go on to the CVE, CWE. Okay, how to find the CVE details and CWE details. I guess we found this on Apache. Okay, 2.4.9. Let's try to find the CVE of this. Copy paste it. Type CVE. Okay, I hope you people are able to see this. Okay, just click on. So it just goes to the CVE details. Okay, see, it clearly to make you people clear, what I do is I click on this version thing. Can you see this? I hope it's clear. Okay, can you see this? Like it shows the denial of services, then overflow, bypass something, gain information, HTTP response splitting, excesses. Okay, excess is nothing but cross-site scripting. Fine. So these are the possible attacks on this particular version. Okay, so as ma'am had explained you clearly on CV and CWE, completely, it was like clearly shown on the slideshow, okay, saying that what is CVE and what is CWE, okay, a common vulnerability exposure. So what do we do in the CV is like it says that it specifies the thing. It says a common vulnerability which is common in this version, particular version, as I showed you here. As I showed you, these are the common vulnerabilities on the particular version. Okay, it clearly mentions that this is called CVE, common vulnerability exposure. It just exposed the common vulnerability. Okay, so what we do is now we'll take this particular screenshot. That is the main thing. We take the screenshot and specify whenever you do the information gathering. We take the screenshot and we specify. See, this version is having these these all these vulnerability like common vulnerabilities which we got from this particular cvedetails.com. Okay. Now whenever you go through this, see, it clearly shows CVE. This common vulnerability exposure, it was on 2019. Okay, hope you got it. Sorry, 2014. And you just go here, it's 2013. It's like very old version, and there's lots more upgraded version. So this is the main thing. So what we do whenever we put the screenshot of the CVE, we particularly mention only this detail. So whenever we mention this one, the CVE in 2012, sorry 2014, and so on. So you just click on it. See, it will show the details. Okay, so it will show the detail of this completely. In this particular CVE 2014, this was a possible attack. Okay, which allows remote attack to cause the denial of services. Okay, it can denial, it can stop the services. It can use like about the denial DOS and DDoS and all these things and all. It will be explained on the tool basis. Okay, I just don't want to go and drill down deeper. I'm just going in a general thing. Fine. Okay, so you get the CV, and when you mention this, you'll almost get every detail of that for the particular CV. See, whenever you go through this completely, you find so many versions. Almost all the versions from this 2.20 or 2.22, completely is vulnerable to so and so things. Fine. You go check it on vulnerabilities. See, you find so many things. Now, just we are checking for one version, particular version, that is Apache 2.4.7. But when you look into the other list of things over there, See here? You can see the entire thing. From here, this is really a old version, and from there were other versions also listed over here, completely. And it specifies that these were, these version are also vulnerable to so and so things. So what the cvdetails.com do is they collect all the version of details, okay, all the version details, and just check whether these they just cross verify and check and put the details for us saying that this particular version could have these problems on this so and so year. It's specified by year wise, okay. So it clearly mentions as a year wise cve 2014. I as you people had seen over there, it clearly specifies year wise, okay. Yeah, hope you people understood this. If you have any more queries, please free to ask on the chat box. Okay, so whenever you find this detail and whenever you're mentioning to the pertaining of this website saying that Apache 2.4.7 is having so and so vulnerability using the CVE or CVE details.com or any other information such like this with the screenshot, also I recommend you to people to give an latest version of the Apache to the client or whomever it is. Okay, you just type Apache latest version. Can you see this? The current latest release of Apache HTTPD is version of 2.4.46. Okay. However, this is more for minor update. Okay. You have to just go on and fetch the detail of the what is the latest version on this. Hmm. Okay. Hope it's clear on this. So I just wanted to do, I just don't want to stick on to the same topic or same, version thing. There's another ways also to find the version details, like Vaporizer. There was an explanation in the PPT presentation, okay, about the Vaporizer or something. See, Vaporizer is an extension, it is, the extension, it can be given to the Firefox or the Chrome. Okay. I'll just show you an example. See, okay, fine. So hope you people understood that CV thing. Fine. I'll show you the Vaporizer. See, Vaporizer, it's an extension, okay, for a browser, a Firefox browser or a Firefox, okay, or a Chrome or a Firefox. What you do is you keep that extension whenever you load the site or something. That extension would show you the versions that the site is using. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, so see here, it shows over here. Vaporizer. Okay. See, I'm not asking you to people to just go over here, put the URL like who is domain and get the details of the version. This is an clearly mentioning this is an extension. Okay, this is an extension. So it acts as it will be an extension whenever you open to the site, whenever you click on it or load it, it will just give you the versions. Okay, it's not like who is domain. Fine. I'm just showing you this offers on the for Chrome and the Firefox. Okay, any other browser which you're using, which it supports to. Okay, so I clearly mentioned there's an extension of Vaporizer over here which I've already installed. Okay, so this particular site is having 21. See here, you got almost all the version details, and I got clearly about the database of MySQL that they are using database MySQL database, and there's WordPress version also 5.5.3. Okay, and you have Bootstrap version and jQuery version. It clearly mentions over here. No, this is very helpful tool which will give you the clear detail about the versions and the backend things whichever the site is using. Fine. So it just clearly mentions it over here. The PHP language it's using, but there's no version detail shown over here. But still you can manually find those, by going to view page source, or just going to the inspect page. Then you can find the versions also, just to cross verify these things. Okay, this is the main thing. Like, you can go and search with the CVE detail. I think I don't have to go on to the CVE detail again. Hope it's clear. So you can use this version to find the CVE of the particular, you know, version of the thing, and it can clearly specify what are the vulnerability and which year the vulnerability was happened, and so details. Okay, I hope the applies is clear to you people. So I just want to show a view page source. Okay, see, I I just try, I'll just make it slow. See, I just right click over here and go to view page source. I get to see the page source of that particular website. So what we do is we just go over here, as clearly shown in the this one PPT. We just check whether there is any HTTP URLs over here. But it shows like, they're almost only HTTPS. Okay, we just scroll down and check individual URLs. Okay, and get to know if there is any information that could be, useful for us. There's like WP plugins and all those things. Just you have to just go through this. Like whenever you have a login page or something like that, when you go on to the view page source, sometimes some kind of websites, they could disclose their login page with the password, with the credentials on it. Okay, so you can just go through this completely on this screen. I'm just going it slowly, sorry if I'm fast. Okay, and check completely. Okay, just finding out the ways you can get the version details and other things. Okay, okay, if you have any queries about this, you can mention on the chat box. Okay, thank you. I got this information. Okay, Satish Kumar, fine, thank you. If you have any more queries on this thing, okay. Now I'll just show an inspect page. So I'll go to network. Okay, I'll just reload this page. Fine. It will load everything, whatever this website is having, including the, a small dot also, it will show everything. So yeah, see, whenever you see this, see 200 is like, okay, it's fine. No, it has no error or something like that. Okay, so it shows over here. So let me make it clear. I hope it's visible to you people. Okay, see, it says that of this URL. Okay, this is the header. Okay, you just have to check over here whether there's any kind of versions disclosed. Okay, so about the get method, post method, and the request and all those things and all will be, further discussed in the tools. Okay, by Mr. Sydney. Okay, now I'll just show you the just a small thing of this. Whenever you look into this, it's a, I can view it without any tools. I'm not using any other tool or any other extension, or right now I'm just right clicking over there. I got the view source page. Okay, and I went to the view source page. Now when I right click over here, when I got to the inspect, I'm just inspecting it. I'm just seeing it, whatever things are there, just it headers. Okay, I'm not using any other tools. Okay, so you can see over here, you have to just check whether any kind of versions are disclosed or something like that. Fine. And what is the main thing over here is like headers like XSS, then Xframe, all of those headers and all, it will be further discussed on the tools also. But still, you have to just, you have to just make sure you have to make a point of these headers and all, whichever things, whatever information you're gathering. And it clearly shows here the server it's used as a Cloudflare. Okay, and but there's no version, but that's still fine. Over here it shows the cookie, you know cookies details. So the cookies, how to take over the session, like you can use the cookie ID and all those things and all will be explained in the further session. Okay, I didn't find any much information in this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go on to the next website. Okay. I guess this website could give me some information. Okay. I'll just go to the inspect. Why I'm going to the next websites, because when I start explaining you only with the particular website, then you people will be depending on, okay, there's nothing. If I show some examples only, it will be clear for you all. Okay. So I just reload it again, and I'll go on top. It clearly shows HTTP, same URL, right? Click on it. Can you see here? I can clearly find the server detail version over here. Okay. And this is also a main thing. So I take a screenshot with the URL. Okay. With the URL of this. Okay. As we have found with the CV details, you people already know. Okay. Fine. There's no much more thing. Only it shows about, mm, there's some headers missing. So that also will be discussed on the tools and other things. Fine. Okay. Hope this is clear to you all. Fine. Okay. Fine. So, everything is clear, right? Fine. Let me go on to the other thing. Let me find the other form. Your lunch break will be by 1:30. Okay. So by the time we could finish all the information gathering, possible ways to do the information gathering and all by the time. Fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. So now there you can see over here there's a cookie policy. It's shown over this side, right? Okay. So, but when I go to this previous website, there's no cookie policy or nothing over here. So I'm just want to explain about what is cookie policy. Okay. Cookie is a small piece of data, okay, that's stored on the user computer by the web browser while browsing a website. Okay, when you it just stores that so and so people had logged in, or have checked on this website. When you accept the cookie policy, you accept that you're revealing about you, that whatever you searched. Okay. So what it'll do, it'll take that, it'll just keep a small piece of data of that. It'll store that saying that this person had viewed on this so and so time. Okay. So cookie was designed to be, reliable machine for websites to remember stateful information or to record the user browsing activity. So like I mentioned, it just make shows whatever the activities you're doing. It'll just keep as a small piece of data. Okay. So whenever you, for example, whenever you people are browsing to Amazon. Okay. I'm just talking generally. If you're going browsing on a footwear. Okay. If you want to purchase on a shoe, just Shumma, you're just going and checking whether what will be the price over here. Then we can go on to the market then. Okay. After doing that, I hope you people have noticed whenever you go and log into the Instagram or Facebook, you could find the same kind of details, or same kind of similar advertisement shown to you people, right? Okay, so this thing, this details, kind of detail, it will be useful for others also to get, this is not like, you're giving all the information. It's just a piece of thing that so and so ID is, had logged in, or you had searched for this thing, and it will give an, customer satisfaction thing. So that is the main purpose it used. So actually, this cookie policy is kind of important because it will just show what kind of activities is going on. So it will just monitor or just check the small thing about from the client side. Okay. So that's it. So I'll just check on other forms. I hope I get this. Okay. Mm, okay. Mhm. I hope it's clear by now to everyone, information gathering and all these things, whichever topics we are covered. So I just move on to the this one. We found a vaporizer admin page, right? I'll just go on to that only. I'll explain about it. Okay. See, um, So as clearly mentioned, like ma'am had clearly mentioned on this, session, concurrent session, whether it's like happening or multiple sessions can be logged in. So whenever you try to log into one session, okay, so whenever you like we use from one laptop or a phone, you just try to one kind of any website, you just log in, and then you just go and try to the other place and try to log in through your phone. For example, you're logging into your laptop and trying to connect with your phone network to that session, okay. But when it's happening now, that is also a flaw, because it should one id or a password to be accessed only for the one session, one particular session, okay. It can't be like multiple session cannot be operated at the same time, okay. That's also a flaw. Fine. So that will be I think that is clear to you people. See about the file uploads and all those things, okay. Okay, there is a proper heralding over here. It says 404 page not found. Okay. See, about the other things like file uploads and all those things and all, it will be covered by, Mr. Sydney on the file upload things and all. Okay. Okay, you people have understood on validation and other things, right? Do you have any other doubts regarding these things? So far, the topics which were covered, do you have any more details? Like, do you have any more questions or something like that? Okay, so one more thing, what I'm going to inform is like, like we'll be sharing the checklist for you people, for just for an like doing an information gathering. Okay, what are the points can be covered? Whichever points we are covering over here, the checklist will be shared to you people after this information gathering time. Okay, so that you can just go through it and make a points on that. Okay, just a normal checklist for your information. Fine. Okay, there's a login without any captcha. So request for the demo with the team. Okay, this is something different. Fine. I'll try login to this. Okay, I'll try getting a mail ID from your well. Okay, get the email. Okay, I found something here. Okay, I got this. Get email updates. Fine. So this is also a field. It's like a like get email updates. Like you have search fields and other lots of fields. You have this section like a comment section, whether you can try all the ways you have to get the information about. Okay. Oh, see, I could find something. Uploaded this file. Okay. It showed some information. Okay. See, when you try to find these kind of things, right, you have to just try to make a note, complete like cookies policy and all those things. If certain websites are containing of cookies policy, that also you can mention. Fine. Mm, I'm just going through each and every link whether I could find something, because I guess we have only 10 minutes of time. I'll just try to cover as much as possible. And other file uploads things and all, it will be covered in the tools only. You don't have to be worried. Whatever maximum I could cover, I'll just cover it by now itself. Okay, I just see I can take time and go on to the details and get some customer details and try that mail ID over here and try logging in. Okay, I'll just try this session only. Why not? Sessions. Okay, just trying a random thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the password. I'm just trying. So sign in. Let's see, is it allowing or Okay, you just sign in and it's just told there is an email. Okay, use with such email does not exist. User with such email as does not exist. Okay, so what it does is, okay, I try to sign up for your newest. Okay, okay, so every details over here, every detail, each and every detail, whatever dialog box is coming, any pop-ups it's coming, you have to ensure that you take a screenshot because every screenshot is important to us. Okay, so what to do, even you can take this screenshot. Okay, but it didn't allow me to sign in. That's okay, fine. We'll go on to the next thing. Okay, okay, this website is having a search result. Okay, so fine then. Okay, so you people, I hope you people understood on the Appleize robots.txt, on the headers missing, that's missing of headers, like, kind of finding of version details and just going through the website. This one, I didn't use any tool. I'm just doing it manually. I'm just, going to each and every link. I'm just trying to find everything. So ensure whenever you are doing this, you have to make sure that the screenshots are taken properly with the URL. Whenever you try to take the screenshot which is not having the URL something, then you can't justify or give an perfect evidence to the person saying that this URL had this problem. Okay, fine. Now another only 10, so 6 minutes are there. So if anyone is having any questions, you can just put it on chat box. Okay, so hope everyone understood this one. See now, from the basic things of information gathering, you are done by using tools also. Even Kali Linux also is, you will have informational commands and all to use those. But still, now I just did a passive thing. Active thing can be used by, I just show you a normal thing, a small thing when you can convert from domain to IP. Okay, how to convert a domain to IP? You got it from OS domain. Okay, now I just show you a small thing which can be used from a command prompt. Only a small thing of that. Okay, after that I'll be closing the session. Fine. So that will be an interesting part to you people. Okay, I think I'll just stop sharing the screen for now. No, I'm just showing you people a small thing on the command prompt how to, find an IP address using a domain. Okay, I'm just opening a command prompt. Give me a 1 minute. Okay, after that you can take for a lunch break. Okay, it starts by 1:30. I hope people can see this, right? See, what I'm doing is I'm just trying the NS lookup. So what it does is just, it'll just convert the domain thing to an IP. Okay, I'm just copying this. See, it will recognize as a domain. It will not recognize as an URL. So what you do, just completely only with www dot, okay, and enter. Okay, hope you could find this. It clearly shows this URL is having this IP. Okay, I can even try with the, see, the IP. So I can even try with the another thing. Just copy it. Okay, and enter. See, you have IP version 6 as well as IP version 4. Okay, it shows that 104.18.30.38. Okay, this can be found even in the OS domain as well as with NS lookup. Okay, fine. As I showed you, the server which it used was Cloudflare, right? And it shows that details also. Okay, so this is how we get an IP using the command prompt. Okay, so I hope this is clear. If you people are having any doubt on this, you can try in the comment box. Fine. So what we do is, it's already 1:30. So you people can go for lunch for now. Okay, and we'll be back by 2:30. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all.
Our HKIT team and foundation trainer, and he's been doing a lot of trainings of late, and it is practical training. How you are going to able to identify vulnerabilities in the website and web application. It will be an interesting session from here on. So please cooperate with him and answer whatever questions you want. You can just put it in the chat box so that he'll be able to answer. Over to Sydney. Sydney, all the best. Do well.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I hope everyone can hear me. Please put a yes in the chat so that I can make sure that everyone is able to hear my voice, whether I need to change or do any adjustments. Hello.
Sydney, I think you're audible. You can start.
Okay, sure. So today we are going to start with now the most interesting part of our work is the web application pen testing. So this is where we use most of our tools to get things started, to find out the flaws, to understand what are the issues, and to find out how you can sort them out. We're going to use one application we're going to test, and we're going to use multiple tools for the purpose of pen testing. We are not going to exactly exploit, that is in day 2. That is what we are going to do in phase 3, where we're going to manually test whatever applications that we have gathered so far. Today, at this session, we are going to use the tools, and we're going to talk about the tools, and we're going to talk about our favorite OWASP standards. Okay, so now what makes a good pen tester or makes a good developer? As you can see in the Economic Times of India over here, we have Narendra Modi, who is who is the most famous. In his Twitter account has been hacked. So quite an shocking news. It was recently published in 3rd of September 2020. I hope everyone is familiar with certain case. As you can see, BJP official websites and this one, Congress robes of BJP wounds says happy to help. So it could be a political affair. What is the actual agenda behind the attack or vulnerabilities in the website, and what attackers see for this matter? So as you can see, this could be a political agenda. It could be for criminal acts. It could be for many other issues that have been in this list. And it is our duty as pen testers to find out these flaws and to mitigate them. Now, as you can see that there is a constant, India suffers a constant attack from China and Pakistan on a daily basis wherever it comes into cyber defense. It is anything to do with Aadhaar card, anything to do with cryptocurrency, or in the army itself. The main purpose of security and pen testing is to make sure that you are safe and that you and what you represent the country is also safe, not only for the private sectors, also to the public sectors. All right, so the standard that we are going to follow today is going to talk about OWASP standards, and it's going to talk about the top 10 of 2017. Please note that this has been up to date as of now to 2017, and it's going to be updated in 2021. As you can see that this OWASP standard is Open Web Application Security Pen Testing is a standard that is developed by IEEE, by the security team. They are the standards that have been recognized internationally, and for the purpose of making sure that your site or your web application is safe and secure. Now, these are the 10 major flaws that have been identified from the year 2013 to the current year 2020. And the new coming year 2021 is going to introduce a new standard of OWASP. All right. So what's the purpose? We will get to know on to the 10 most vulnerable items that are here in the list. Mind you that it does not cover up the whole spectrum of vulnerabilities. The top 10 is just the highlights or the major chances of flaws that can be obtained on a daily basis. So what HKIT does is that we not only focus on OWASP standards, but we focus on CWE and CVE, which we are going to get into later. Now, to better understand what OWASP standards, we go up with the SQL injection or injection in short. The main purpose of this injection is to add some vulnerabilities in and on data trusted. This is something to target with your database. The main purpose over here is to make sure that any application that is taking input from the user is processed correctly and then given an output. If anything that is malicious intention, with malicious intent, you put any form of code or any form of malware inside the application, then the database could vomit out any form of sensitive information. Okay, so we will go over here and we will understand the basic understanding of injection. So this is most common form of attack. Injection always talks to the database. Database responds to the malicious code and thereby giving out sensitive information such as user credentials, credit cards, and so on. So if you the injection first is the top 10 is often with database queries. So you ask database. Database is the most innocent person you will know. You ask him certain items, he will respond to you with certain items. You ask him malicious items, he will also respond to you with whatever values he has without any validation. Now, validation means it checks whether the application is whatever the user's input, especially in fields like how we saw for information gathering, whether any form of input validation has been done or not. If the input validation is not done, then a likely chance that an SQL injection attack is possible. Now, there are various types of SQL injection, which is SQL injection, OS injection, XML injection, and etc. And then you have a breakdown of MySQL injections or MySQL injections, which is time, Boolean, error, and blind, and so on. So there are various forms of injection. Basically, it's whenever you find a form, whenever you try to input data from a web application, like a basic form, and that form you are able to input some form of malicious data, which we're going to show you in how the uh, basic is. Yeah. So injection is the first item in the OSP. Yes, as you can see, it's vulnerable and application sends untrusted data to be interpreted. It can be OS and so on. Now, what do you understand by this? Prevalence. The most common vulnerability is that these developers, whenever they try to accept data from the user, they do not validate whether that data is correct or not. So as you can see, there is a survey that has been conducted that 65% of the organizations representing experiencing SQL injection attacks in the past 12 months. This is quite a recent article, thereby making sure that whatever data that you use, whatever data that you input, especially any sites, we're talking banking sites, we're talking of food delivery sites, we are talking anywhere where you put your credentials or your data, you make sure that the data that you're saving on is a secure site. Okay, so the main impact here is that it leads to data theft, sensitive information disclosure, which includes usernames and passwords, and in worst case scenarios, it will take a full over of a system. So OS injection is basically trying to talk and communicate with your operating system, trying to kick you out, making sure that you change the credentials and not able to make you log in. For web applications, it's mostly trying to defamation, which means altering the websites to make sure that you're not able to log in, thereby changing some content, thereby ruining your business, and so on. A well-known event is can be found over here. It's a target against Sony. I think in the recent, this is quite a fresh story on the main attack that was received from Sony, where they have received a form of attack, which is in regards to SQL injection. So what do you understand by that? Unprotected text. SQL attacks are generally regarded in one of the most straightforward ways of gaining unauthorized access to the website. So that means someone was able to bypass their username and password using SQL injection and was able to get into sonypictures.com. And so much information that was unencrypted stored on their server was able to pull out. Roughly 50,000 users were affected. Simply saying that the what is this? The application that was used, the Lose website, contains a few basic images along with this hack. So set sail for fail. A lot of malicious code, a lot of programs were created for the way of exploitation. So the idea here is you find an exploit, okay, then you automate it, and then you see if it works for other websites. That is how mostly the attack was. So just by attacking one of the websites, which was sonypictures.com, probably there was high likely chance that other websites that belong to the same domain or subdomain could be affected at the same time. So yes, MySQL themselves, how you discover it. Now in information gathering, we discovered that if either the front end using Webalizer was able to identify it was using SQL injection, it is the duty of an auditor to make sure that every information that you type inside the form is in form of strings, especially that is used to communicate with the database. And then you see how the server processes it, and then you see how the database processes it, and see if you can find a outcome that will lead into that issue. You don't need to worry on the syntax and everything. We are going to use a website. You're going to use tools that are going to run this application for MySQL, for especially MySQL injection, and so on. How to yes, how do you rectify? So they are giving free tools that are necessary, but the main tool that we use. Okay, this is an exploit. This injection is broadly defined into various case by general class SQL, okay, injection. So this is Hunter uploaded a video of him teaching a 3-year-old how to exploit database. That is something that you should check on, because it's quite easy to check on how SQL database is here. So the code is quite simple. You have a variable by the name of database, which has a string that has the local host, which is the name of where the database is sitting. The name of the user is root, password is password, and base. So this means that the actual values are put. So this is the database name. And in result, we make a search query, select everything from users, where users get the